Megadeth are an American thrash metal band from LA. They're one of what's known as the Big Four, which are Megadeth, Metallica, Anthrax, and Slayer. So they were formed in 1983 by Dave Mustaine. He was a founder member of Metallica, but he was sacked from Metallica and therefore founded Megadeth. They've had more or less a continuous existence since then, with Mustaine being the most constant member, apart from a break in the band when he had damaged his arm. They released their first album in 1985 and their 16th in 2022. Hi, my name's Dan, and this is a review of the album Megadeth by Megadeth. Now, often when an album is named after the band, it's their first album. This isn't. This is their 17th, and they're claiming it's their last album. And it was released today. So I hopefully I'm going to get this all edited and up and online on the same day that it was released. I think I'm a bit of a glutton for punishment because that's two that I've done today. My other one is a Poppy album. Most of the reviews on my channel are not of new released albums. They're of albums ranging from the latest to 2019, but going back a long way, back into the 50s, because I'm reviewing my way through a list of that is claimed to be the 3,000 best albums of all time. Now, that's claimed to be by a website called Acclaim Music, where they've done an amalgamation from critics' lists, a bit like Metacritic does, but they've reached back in time for those lists and for those albums. And I saw this list. I was already reviewing albums on a blog, and I decided to go video and to switch to this list. And I'm loving it. And I'm just over 40% of the way through. I reckon I've got another 5 or 6 years to go before I finish. Please, if that sounds interesting to you, subscribe and come and join me on this journey through these amazing albums. However, let's jump off that and go into this album. So this is a metal album. I would say I'm going to claim this as traditional metal. It feels mostly like it's in keeping with late 80s or early 90s metal, which I think was their peak period. Now, I'm not a Megadeth deep fan, so I don't, have lots of knowledge about this. I'm also, sometimes I'm guessing at things. I'm sorry. I'm a general listener. I think that basically what they're doing here is they're giving their core fans something that's familiar as a parting shot, and I'm fine with that. Now, some of this is very fast. That makes me think maybe it should be classified as speed metal. Every time I classify something as speed metal, my mate Mark, who's much more of a metalhead than me, says, "No, this isn't speed." It's like, "Oh, really? It gets faster than this?" Yeah, this is thrash, he says, or something like that. Anyway, so I think some of it's fast, some of it might be thrash. It's definitely got chuggy stuff and shredded solos, and that's one of the things that I think is really indicative of that period is these fast, shreddy guitar solos. They tended to get lost as we got a bit later, and also guitars were tuned down to make it even heavier, and the harmonic content changed considerably. This is kind of more old school in that. So the playing's fine, the feel's fine. It's very much metal, as I say. It's got this headbanging and long hair and maybe sort of thing that you do in stadia, the plural of stadiums, sorry. The singing is kind of growly, but not death metal kind of growl. It's singing with a strong graveliness to the voice. It's quite a metal voice. And the songs. So this is probably what I like best about this album. There's quite a sense of humour at play, I think, here. So some of these I'd say are pretty standard metal fare, or seem like it, like Tipping Point, which was a single, Made to Kill, and I Am War, which I can't help feeling actually is done with a certain amount of dry tongue-in-cheekness. It's like, this is what you expected, so we'll do it, but a little bit ironically, maybe. And then there's a couple of tracks at least that have got actual humour in it. Hey God is probably my favourite track on the album, especially the kind of, towards the end, there's a great bit, but I won't spoil it. It's a nice a nice funny bit, and Let There Be Shred, which is obviously about playing guitars. All in all, I think fans of traditional metal will enjoy this. Maybe less so if you're kind of, I mean, even this is quite old. My references: System of a Down or Cradle of Filth or that kind of metal, or more industrial metal or stuff. It's not that. It's it's definitely more kind of the thrash stuff. Um, there's nothing new here, I'd say, but it's done with a certain class and attitude that won me over. So I quite liked it. Yeah, I've given it a fairly good score here. As always, I'd love to know what you think of this album. I'd love to know if you think I've got any of this classification wrong. I'd love to know anything you want to throw in about the history of Megadeth, and your memories of old Megadeth albums, and your impressions of this one as a new album. I'd love to hear from you. Please leave me a comment. But that's it from me for now.
Hey God, I need a minute of your time.